Hello. Hello. Where are you?
Hello.
Where are you? Good day.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, colleagues. How are you?
Good.
Okay. You are ready? Colleagues, today is a great day for us. We will evaluate the contestants' task for the first time. I hope what the task was not difficult and all participants copied. Now we will tell you the rules and procedure for evaluating participants. Любовь Александровна.
Okay, I'm here. Yes, sure. So I just switched off my camera because later I will demonstrate the computer screen to you, so it is not very convenient. So guys, first of all, we are very glad to see you all today, even those who just thought that he chose some format 1 or 2. So we're welcome everyone here. Today, we're just going to tell you a few words about the assessment procedure, and then we will show you how to assess a participant's work, a participant's module. So first of all, as I have already said, our assessment is objective. That means that usually during the championship, some experts are chosen to assess the participants' work. Usually, there are 3 or 5 experts who are assessing the work. They may be the representatives of, for example, some enterprise which is connected to space, for example, from Roscosmos or Sputniks. And in this assessing group, there also can be some expert who is very experienced in this skill competition. Sometimes if these people cannot take part in the assessment, compatriots can also assess the work of the participants, but with one exception. Compatriot cannot assess his own team. That's all. And now I would like, if you have any questions, you may ask it. And if you don't mind, I will just turn on my screen. Okay, so here it is. Today, we are going to assess module number 1. You have already seen the marking scheme. Yes? So just a second. So, 1 second. You have seen these aspects, yes? And you have also seen the maximum mark, which can be given for the aspect, yes? So here in this table, you can also see the maximum mark for the whole module. For example, module number 1, which we are going to assess today, can be awarded 15 marks. That is all for satellite 3D layout design. So if you don't mind, we can start. Александр Анатольевич, ну что, начинаем? Да? Можете просто головой
Да,
мотнуть.
конечно, да, начинаем.
Okay, so first of all, the participants should have a folder on the desktop, yes, with project and lane bar and number of team. So we don't have numbers of our teams, so we just decided, our participants decided that they will, like write their surnames. So that this is the folder of our team. Now we open it and we can see some other folders. For example, yes, we have a folder with 3D models. We have folder for 3D printing, yes, so for laser cutting, their report, and the satellite itself. And we start with reading the first aspect of the marking scheme. So it is, so that everyone can see, presence of 3D models of aerodynamic test bed, bearing, and mounting seat. To assess this aspect, we should open our 3D module. So it is already opened, yes, and we are going to look at it. So the test bed. Yes, so we can see it on our 3D module, yes, but the aspect was presence of 3D models of aerodynamic test bed, okay? So there should be, just a second, just a 3D model of the test bed, yes? So we have it like a separate model and we have it in our assembly, okay? And so if the participants have it, yes, so he can be awarded the maximum mark. And we put here, sorry, 0.40. You will also get this table to assess your teams. So you will assess it yourself and you will put the marks yourself. Then, presence of 3D models of the body fastening angle. Yes, so we should look for the angle. Angle, okay. So here is the angle, okay? And we have a 3D model of the angle. So the maximum mark for the presence of the angle is 0.20. So we put here 0.20. Then presence of 3D models of the thread connections, so screw, nut, and washer. Yes, so we're again look into the folder. Yes, and we are looking for these fasteners. So no fasteners, okay, no fasteners, no fasteners, no fasteners. Yes, so our participant, yes, haven't have enough time to model the fasteners, yes, or maybe he didn't know how to do it. So we don't have fasteners. That means that he is awarded 0 mark. Okay? Okay. Then, presence of all body elements in 3D assembled model according to the sample. So you had a kind of sample, yes, and that was eight-sided satellite, yes, and it had some details. So there were three parts, like caps, yes. Okay, just a second. So there were like three covers. We call it covers, yes. So upper cover, yes, the lower cover, and the middle cover, if you can see it, yes. So we have three covers or cases, and we also have some, like side elements. Yes, there should be 8 sides, yes, of this satellite. So we can just see that everything is presented on this satellite model. So all body elements are here. Yes, so all body elements are here. So presence of the body elements in 3D assembled model according to the sample. So all body elements are present. So we put the highest mark, the highest score. Then, I'm sorry, the next aspect, presence of 3D models of aerodynamic test bed, bearing and mounting seat in the final 3D assembled model. So we have a 3D assembled model, yes. We also have the part of aerodynamic suspension one, and we have just a second. So there is no, I'm sorry, another part of aerodynamic suspension, and they are here in our 3D model. So our participants decided that this aerodynamic suspension should be placed here like this. So, but still they have all elements of aerodynamic suspension here on the model. So that means that it is present on the model and they get this mark. So the next one. Presence of all body fastening elements in the final 3D assembled model. So our fastening element is an angle, yes, and the angles should be present at the final assembly. Dun, 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 dun. So we can just look, all elements are here, but they are somewhere, they are hidden, yes, and we may just look at. Александр Анатольевич, правильно я препарирую спутник? Дим?
Возьми, пожалуйста, разрез. Вот, да, и вверх-вниз. Нет, там слева внизу, вот где 3-й, 4-й значочек. Слева. Левее. Еще 4-й считай. Вот, да, открывай. 4-й. Левее.
Этот?
Нет, вверху верхний ряд. 4-й слева.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Нет, вверх поднимайся. Это вид. Это вид. А ты левее мышку уводи.
Я запуталась.
Ага. Вот, да.
Вот. Ну, так да. Okay, so we may also just kind of cut the final assembly and see if all elements are present on this assembly. Так, сейчас мы вот так вот сделаем.
И слева внизу можешь менять оси. Вот здесь сечение написано в дереве. Левее
Sure.
переводи. Да, вот там можно по всем 3 плоскостям ее. Левее мышку выводи. Да, там, где вот с левой стороны сечение написано, где у тебя сейчас синеньким подсвечено. Да, там можно плоскости менять.
So thus we can see that all fastening elements are present here. See the angles. Yes, all the angles here and here also all angles are present. And on the bottom, all angles are present. So that's it. And we can see that all elements are present and get the highest mark. Okay, now the assembled 3D model of the satellite is converted into STL. So as we have said already, it is necessary because during module number 7, you will have to work in a special software which can imitate the satellite flight, in which you can just download or run the codes. So that is the reason why we should save the model in STL. So let's check it. Okay, so this is the satellite, and we can just see, okay, that this model, yes, is saved in STL extension. So they got it in STL extension. And get the mark. Then you can see that the final 3D assembly color matches to the color of the sample. Sometimes in the marking scheme, there may be some aspects, you know, that couldn't be done beforehand, or some aspects that, for example, may not be included in the test project, or the test project may be changed so that not all aspects will be included in the marking scheme. In these cases, the group of experts who take part in assessment decides whether this aspect will be the highest or the lowest. That means that if no one could possibly fulfill this aspect, all participants will have either the lowest mark or the highest mark. Александр Анатольевич. Александр Анатольевич. Вы со мной? Okay, so Alexander maybe have some troubles with his Zoom, but still we can leave this aspect, okay, just for a few minutes. So we'll just wait for Alexander to come back because he is the chief expert.
Здесь.
Спасибо.
Да,
Вы этот
немножко
случайно...
неполадки со связью.
Понятно. Вы с какого момента пропустили?
Прерывался. Повтори, пожалуйста.
Да, хорошо. У нас есть критерий, да,
Мгм.
вот этот по поводу цветов, да, что он
Мгм.
соответствует образцу. Я сказала, что у нас как бы как таковых образцов не было, да, поэтому, когда есть спорный аспект, мы решаем, это будет либо максимальный, либо минимальный балл. Ну, так как вы у нас главный эксперт, то давайте вы предложите там, максимальный или минимальный балл.
По стандартам WorldSkills решение принимает экспертное сообщество, поэтому мы
Да,
вправе все
но вы
вместе
можете
решить. Да,
подсказать. So,
да, ну,
Alexander just corrects me that only experts could decide whether it will be the highest or the lowest mark. So he can advise you, yes, or whether what mark should it be. But he couldn't, like he cannot decide it by himself.
я еще
So
немножко
the
добавлю, можно? Да, самая главная задача главного эксперта — не допустить разногласия в оценке. То есть мы должны общим решением решить, либо это у нас будет минимальный балл или максимальный.
So the main task of the chief expert is to, like avoid disagreement of other experts at the state. So, dear experts, please, let's decide whether this aspect, whether our participants, all participants will have the highest, okay, or the lowest mark for this aspect. So, how do you think?
Я предлагаю провести голосование в чате.
Okay, so you can write it in the chat. So what do you think about this aspect? Okay, so any other opinions? Should our participants have the highest score, the highest mark? Okay, okay. Okay, I guess that will be, I'm sorry.
Кто еще?
Yes, it will be the maximum mark, and if it is so, I will highlight this field and put the mark so you will not have to change it yourself, okay? Александр Анатольевич, вы считаете это... Можно считать за голосование?
Ну, давайте
Закончено.
поставим. Я думаю, что кто не принимает участие в голосовании.
Okay, so I want to, like suggest that if no one votes or, like make any suggestions for 1 or 2 minutes, then we should think that that will be the maximum score. So it's 0.5. Then we should look for a 3D assembly of power supply system elements. So first of all, we should understand what are the power supply system elements. Александр Анатольевич, помогайте. Что тут должно быть?
Система энергопитания, она должна быть либо в сборке, либо разделена на две части: блок аккумуляторов и панель управления.
А можно попроще? Какие там датчики должны быть на спутнике?
Сам цепь.
Ну, либо запасной.
Да, и запасные, конечно. И панелька управления сверху, которая с индикатором, она отсоединяется на 2 шурупчиках.
Этот выносной модуль, но он,
Мгм.
я поняла. Okay, so we're talking that the power supply system is one second. So we have models of the sensors, yes, and so the power supply system unit look like this, yes, and this system, one power supply system unit, or sometimes they may be 2 power supply system units, so they should be present at the satellite. So let's see. We have one, yes. So, and we can look at it, number 1, and okay.
Second.
So yes, and another one. So he decided to put it here. So another power supply system unit. So that's it, and power supply system elements are present in the assembled model. So we can see that it is 0 and 5. Done. 3D assembly of the stabilization system elements. Александр Анатольевич, элементы системы стабилизации — это
Flywheel and angular speed sensor.
Все?
Yes.
Okay, so Alexander has just commented that the stabilization system includes only a flywheel and angular speed sensor. So let's try to find them. So they're not, like a flywheel is very difficult to miss. Yeah, so that is the biggest sensor here. And I will just look for angular speed sensor. In Russian, it is called датчик угловой скорости. So I will look at, okay, or it may be DUS. So we just found it. Yes, so this is датчик угловой скорости, angular speed sensor. So it is here. Here it is. And they have assembled, yes, this system. And they get maximum score. Then 3D assembly of the orientation system elements. Александр Анатольевич, комментарии системы ориентации.
Orientation systems include magnetometer, sun sensor, and all. И все.
А имитатор солнечной батареи нет?
Sun sensor. Ты имеешь в виду, что датчик имитатора солнечных батарей? Да, если он участвует в сборке, то да. В последнее время мы его не ставим, поэтому я его даже не назвал.
Хорошо. So usually the orientation system elements include magnetometer and sun sensors. We have 4 sun sensors, but sometimes the imitation of solar battery may be included in this system. So let's just try to find these elements. So we'll just start with sun sensor. We can see that this is a sun sensor, like 1, sun sensor 4, and sensor 3 and 2. We can also see, just a second. So here is magnetometer. Yes, and we can find it here. And I guess, yes. So this is the imitation of solar battery. So this is another sensor, but still it is not necessarily should be present at the assembled model. So this one. And so the guys get 0.50. That's it. Then 3D assembly of the payload elements. Alexander.
It is camera and height frequency.
High frequency. High frequency.
High frequency, да.
Transmitter.
Transmitter.
Okay, so only 2 elements that we will look for. So camera is easy to find. So here is as camera. And we are also going to find high frequency transmitter. Yes, and it is like we can pick or choose any element or sensor and find it here, like high frequency transmitter. And so the payload is also ready. And there's also like voltage regulator elements modeling. Александр Анатольевич, это у всех есть, мы оцениваем, да?
Ну, не в этом мероприятии.
Okay. So this is just another aspect that, have nothing to do with our test project. So again, we have to decide whether our participants will be awarded maximum or minimum mark. So guys, dear experts, please write in the chat, what do you think about this aspect? Should it be the highest or the lowest mark?
Так как мы его вообще не выполняли, здесь можно даже 0 ставить.
Да, окей, ага. Okay, I see, I got it. Let's look. Okay, yes, so just that will do, that's great. So they will get the highest mark. And
можно сказать о том, что есть кратные доли, вот эти, снять по 0,1.
Да, я сейчас тоже, наверное, расскажу. Okay, so sometimes you can see that, like a column, and it is written like withdraw 0.1 points for absence, withdraw. That means, just make it a little bit. That means that, for example, payload elements, yes, include, for example, camera and high frequency transmitter, yes. And a participant has a camera on the satellite, but he doesn't have a high frequency transmitter. That means, yes, that that doesn't mean that he will get 0. Yes, because some of the elements of payload system is present. But that means that he will get, for example, 0.4 if he has only camera or high frequency transmitter, okay? Just for you to understand. And so there are some comments, yes, sometimes where some points should be withdrawn. But sometimes experts should decide themselves, yes, collectively, that, for example, a certain aspect should be multiplied or equal to, for example, the maximum mark is 1.0, yes, and it may be, you know, like divided into 2 parts, 4 parts, 6 parts, and so on. But that should be decided by the group of experts at the competition site. Okay, that's it. Then we have solar cells system modeling. Yes, so you have already seen that our satellite has solar panels, yes, but the aspect is about solar cells system modeling. Александр Анатольевич, что включено именно в систему моделирования?
В систему моделирования солнечных панелей в них включены модели, которые держат солнечные панели, и система раскрытия и поворота.
So in general, the solar system unit should I just will try to find if our kids have done it, because you know, like solar panels and solar system has some elements. Yes, one of them is like a holder, another holder, and this thing that could be rotated. The element that holds the solar cell itself. And we have, you know, like the system, the solar cell system. Yes, we can look at it, for example. Okay, закрою сборку. Okay, so we have a separate solar panels with the system, with this system, but separately from the satellite. So it should be. Okay, so we have this system. And it is then design elements. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Modeling of the solar cell deployment system elements. Yes, so this aspect is about modeling. This aspect is about modeling of the system elements. Yes, not the whole system and assembling, but the separate elements. Правильно, Александр Анатольевич, это отдельный элемент. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so elements of the system.
4 и сервопривод.
А еще какой?
Сервопривод.
And okay, so this one is also a part of this system, one of the elements of the system. And okay, so I should have it. And сейчас можно вот так вот сделаю, я его просто скрою, ладно? Чтобы полегче немножко было. So the next one. design elements and details are saved in the correct extension for 3D printing. Yes, so and again, we are going to our folder. Свет все равно чуть фонит.
Я убрала, я все везде выключила, у меня в наушнике.
А ты можешь свой микрофон просто выключить, пока все? Можно? Меня просто слышно. Okay, so in our participants folder, we can see two other folders for 3D printing and for laser cutting. So we open this folder, yes, and see there are, you know, like many elements. Yes, so aerodynamic suspension, yes, the angle, Arduino fastener, deployment system angle, printed board fastener, relay fastener, solar panel deployment system, and some other elements. Yes, so we can see the folder full of elements for 3D printing. So actually, no one actually knows how many elements are needed to be saved in this folder. Yes, so we just will, and you will just look for the presence, yes, of this folder. But this folder should be, during the competition, this folder should be given to the technical expert after the first day. And for example, in the evening or at night, he will print these elements. If the competitor has missed something or hasn't designed any element that he or she will need the next day, that means that the participant will not have enough time or will not be able to assemble the satellite. Okay, so that means that everything is correct. So I'm sorry, the most interesting thing about this aspect is the extension for 3D printing. So the extension for 3D printing is STL, and we have, yes, so STL files, they look like this, yes, and all the files are in STL. So all these files are present. And the next aspect is design elements and details of the body are saved in the correct extension for laser cutting. Okay, so sometimes we cut the details at our Okay, sometimes we cut the body elements at our competition site. That's why the participants also should save the details that are needed, that may be, you know, like necessary for the next assembling of the satellite. So here we have, yes, so I'm sorry, one more time. So the folder for laser cutting, yes, and for elements like bottom, middle, side wall, and upper side. And we should see the format as for laser cutting. It may be DXF or еще какой может быть? Никакого? Okay, so it is DXF extension. So it is correct.
DVG. DXF and DVG.
Okay, yes, so the extensions for laser cutting may be either DXF or DVG. So two extensions for laser cutting. Then we should check the interference in the 3D model. So the aspect is just no interference in 3D model. Okay, as we have already said yesterday, so there will be interference. Yes, so one of the sensors, I mean a flywheel, always has 4 interferences. So we will not count these interferences, but there should be no other interference in 3D model. So let's check it. Ой. Где? Нет, а вот это вот почему у меня дублируется? Спасибо. Oops, sorry. So we'll do it like this. Analyzировать. Interference check, yes. So we just highlighted all the elements of the satellite, and we start calculating. So as you can see, there are only 4 interferences, yes, and it is because of the flywheel. So 1, yes, 2, 3, and 4. So that should be counted as the satellite assembly has no interferences, so everything is correct. Okay. So that's it. Then accuracy of the position of center of mass and the assembly in X and Y axis is less than 1 millimeters. So we will look the position of center of mass, but only in X and Y axis. So let's look again. We should. I'm sorry. Да что же ты? Okay. So everything is correct. And okay, so we are looking at the center of masses. Yes, can you see it in millimeters? Yes, in X and Y, it is less than 1 millimeters. It is only 0.46 and 0.43. So the center of masses in X and Y is less than 1 millimeter. And they get like 0.80. Then accuracy of the position of the center of mass in this axis is less than 2 millimeters. It is also less than 2 millimeters. So we have, you know, like 2 aspects that are similar. But
Александровна, можно я тут немножко добавлю?
Да.
Вот эти 3 критерия, они предназначены для того, чтобы дополнительно поощрить участников, которые наиболее максимально выполнят задание.
So these 3 aspects, yes, they are very, very close. They are just similar. But it is very difficult to, you know, like make the position of the center of mass close to zero. And the difference between 1 millimeter, 2 and 5 is not very big. Yes, but if the participants can, you know, like fulfill the project task and get it and get the center of mass as close to 1 millimeter as possible, they have, you know, like double award, because they will just get into 2 millimeters and 5 millimeters also. And for those, for example, who calculated the center of mass more or less properly, yes, but it is not close to zero, maybe they have deviation of only 3 or 4 millimeters, so they also be awarded with mark, but only for this aspect, yes, and they will get 0 for this aspect and this aspect. That's it. So here the position of center of masses is close to 0, so it is less than 1, 2, and 5 millimeters, and that means неудобно. Можно я так сделаю, Александр Анатольевич? Просто очень неудобно.
Конечно, конечно.
Okay, that means that they get 1.5. And so the next aspect is accuracy of the position of the center of masses in z-axis. Yes? So now we're going to look only that axis, and it should be between minus 235 millimeters and 0 millimeters. So it shouldn't have any positive values. Александр Анатольевич, а почему только минус 235?
Этот критерий взят из максимально сложного спутника. Там, да, там, можно объяснить, что для вузовской ветки, для более продвинутых пользователей, мы используем этот критерий в пределах от минус 10, вернее, от 0 до минус 10, минус 20. И это очень сложно для них выполнить это задание.
До минус 10?
Да, до минус 20 у нас было на чемпионате вуза.
Okay, so this aspect may also be changed. So this one is quite easy, minus 235. But for example, during competition between students of higher education institutions, their task is to be between minus 20 and 0 millimeters. So let's look. And the center of masses in millimeters, and that axis is minus 95.36. So that's it, and they just match these values. They match these values. Then pairing of the body elements in 3D, in SolidWorks. So here you also have to open the model. Yes, and Александр Анатольевич, мне показать, что тут все сопряжено, в смысле их подергать, или показать, как, что если определенный, то это сборка?
Да, внизу на экране должно быть написано определен.
Определенный, да.
Да, на нижней строчке. И вот в дереве не должно быть минусов.
Что?
Когда минус такой стоит рядом со сборкой в дереве, с левой стороны, это тоже говорит о том, что где-то нет сопряжения. Но так как у нас модель выполнена вся полностью очень хорошо, я не наблюдаю здесь.
Ну, сейчас, ладно, тогда скажу, секундочку. So in the 3D assembly, you can see here, like a word, it will be definite. Defined. It will be defined. If the 3D assembly is defined, видно, что я показываю, да? That means that all elements of the assembly are paired, but we can check it. For example, if some in your 3D models, you can check it easily. If some of the elements are not paired, when you move them, they will move. Okay, so here we can see that nothing can be moved. Yes, and that means that all elements are paired. So you have to check separately. Yes, first of all, the body elements. Yes, and just body elements. Body elements. Okay. Okay, so all body elements are paired. Pairing. So everything is done very well. And another aspect is pairing of all sensors. Yes, so now we are going to check only sensors pairing. And sensors should be paired, should be joined to the body. We also see that the assembling is defined. Yes, defined. But you can also just check it anytime you like. So any sensors, you can just try to move it. Yeah, so it is impossible to move these elements because they are joined very properly. Okay, and that's it. Yes, that's it. All sensors are joined properly. Sorry. Okay, done. No ground. I'm sorry, это должен быть ВЧ передатчик, да?
Да.
Да, тут неправильно написано. So sorry, mistake. Yes. So no ground high frequency receiver in the 3D model. Yeah, so it's obvious there should be no ground receiver because ground receiver should be on the ground. So we can just look for it. It will be in Russian. It is наземный, and да что же такое? Okay, so no ground, nothing like beginning with ground. Yes, or we can just look which they have only high frequency transmitter, but not receiver. So no receiver, yes, no ground receiver. And then if it is no ground receiver, they will have 0.10. And if it is no ground, very high frequency receiver, they will also have 1.10. So again, we can just look. In Russian, very high frequency is very UKV. So, and they have only VHF, yes, on board, бортовой, yes, so no ground receiver. So no ground receiver. Then another aspect is the design of the onboard cable network correspond to the sensor's location in the 3D model. So that means that we should look for the cable network project, yes, in the report. So this is just, I'm sorry, the sample of the report, and we're looking for the guy's report. So this is the report. I will open it. Okay, and you can see that the participants put down their roles. Yes, so they can just perform any role they like, any labor functions. And they just inserted some pictures, yes, of their satellite image of the satellite, general view with all sensors, and here axis with the center of masses, so it may not be very visible, yes, but still it is here, yes, like this axis, associated axis. Then with the table of mass characteristics, they have the print screen of a satellite with table with center of masses. Then they have a center of mass coordinate table, tensor of inertia, the satellite mass calculation, the real mass of a satellite, as I have told you yesterday, it should be added like 1 kilo. And the assembled satellite, yes, and the diagram of the satellite cable network. So in the report, you could have seen that it is written like the diagram of the satellite cable network between sensors, and it was also written indicating number and length of the cable. You know, we have the table of the number and length of the cable. So number and length of the cable is given here. So it is, I will just maybe delete it because it is not necessary here. But still we can, you know, like check this diagram, and it is quite easy. So just a second. Ой. А что он не перемещается? Окошко.
Что хочешь переключить?
Ничего. Говорю, не перемещается, солид. Ну, он виснет просто. Поэтому бесполезно. Ну, ладно. So, you can check it really easily. So, actually, we can see that it is power supply unit and power supply unit are connected together, yes? And on 3D model, we can see power supply unit, yes, and our engineer decided that it should be connected with this power supply module. Maybe he will connect it like this, maybe like this, I don't know, but still it is. And one of the power supply unit will be connected to Arduino module. I just know that Arduino module looks kind like this. Yes, so maybe we should connect these two things together. Then the power supply units are connected with flywheel. Yes, so it should be connected with a flywheel. The flywheel will be connected to angular speed sensor. Yes, so angular speed sensor, that's it. Then it is connected to the solar battery. It is like this. They will be connected like this. They are connected with transmitter. Yes, I guess it is the transmitter. Then to some sensor number 4. I guess it's not number 4, maybe this one. Yes, so sun sensor number 4. Then to magnetometer, I guess, yes, it's magnetometer, yes. Then to another transmitter. I guess it is, yes, another transmitter. Then to sun sensor number 3. Then to sun sensor number 2, some kind of like this. Yes, sun sensor number 2. Then to the onboard computer, yes, so it's very close here, onboard computer. And the onboard computer then should be connected to the camera and sun sensor number 1. So camera is very close here, and sun sensor number 1 is also very close here. And if you just look, the onboard computer has 3 outputs, yes, and 1 output will be free. So that is correct. Правильно говорю, что один из разъемов будет свободный, это правильно, на БКУ?
Нет, на БКУ нет, вот на каком-либо из датчиков. Один разъем идет на камеру.
Угу. Один на
БКУ,
солнечный датчик.
Да, ну и один подключается дальше к цепи. То есть обычно БКУ здесь в цепи.
А что не в цепи?
Крайние датчики, которые у нас есть, они могут быть.
Ну вот у него получилось, что крайний датчик БКУ.
Ну, значит, тогда.
Okay, so the last sensor have always to have the 3 pin, the 3 output or input. So one of the output in the last element in the circuit should be free. So that's it.
Надо сказать, что это не совсем правильно, но он решил так.
So maybe it is not correct, but we decided to do it like this. So the thing is that the scheme, yes, the diagram may be of any kind, of many kinds. So there are many ways to connect the sensors. But the thing is that according to this diagram, our participants will assemble a real satellite, yes, make a wiring cable network. And if this diagram is not correct, they will lose time cutting the cable network, yes, cutting the wrong cable lengths. They may just burn some of the sensors or fail to do the assembling of the cable network. So now they just have, you know, like the design of onboard cable network corresponds to the sensor's location. Okay, yes, it corresponds, it does, but maybe later if something goes wrong, they will fail to continue the further assembly, the real assembly of the satellite. And so the last thing here is the report contains, I'm sorry, a table of the onboard cable network indicating the number and length of the cable. So the report. Yes, and yes, so the report contains, yes, so the cables, yes, their numbers, their sensors they connect, and their lengths with tolerance. Now we just, and your participants, our participants will get maybe the highest mark, yes, for this task, because the report contains a table. The report, of course, contains a table, yes, and they get the high mark. But I should say that if the table, yes, if this table is not correct, that means they will just, they will not get any penalty right now, but after that, when they start cut the cables, and if the length is wrong, so they will have troubles, and they will just spend a lot of time just to cut the right length. So that's it. All the report is done to help our participants continue performing the project, the test project. I'm sorry. So, and I guess so that's it. And just a second. Yes, so you can look, and they have, you know, like some marks. Yes, here are the. Oh, I'm sorry. So I will just leave the highlighted parts, yes, of the marking scheme. We will just count it, yes, count the total mark, and I will delete it except for the yellow pricks. And you will just you will not have to put here any mark, because you will have marks here, and so you will just try to assess your own participant. Александр Анатольевич.
Я бы еще хотел добавить то, что здесь надо нашим коллегам сказать, что мы специально взяли модель, и специальные участники выполнили максимально возможное количество операций для того, чтобы показать им критерии оценки. И надо сказать, что, скорее всего, у людей, которые первый раз участвуют в этом мероприятии, их невозможно набрать и половину этих баллов. Да, ну вот немножко успокоить.
So this module, the satellite 3D module, you know, like our participants, it is not the first time they are doing this model, yes, so they are experienced enough, and we asked them to develop a 3D model, yes, just to show you how can this model be judged, yes. So it doesn't mean that we know and we understand that maybe it is not possible to, you know, like fulfill all the requirements from the first attempt. Yes, so but just keep in mind that our participants are experienced, and we just wanted to show you how should the assessment procedure be held. That's it. So don't mind or don't get sad if something goes wrong. Yes, but we wish you good luck.
Да, и еще можно добавить, что вот с таким результатом, как сейчас, будет видна моя недоработка как составителя конкурсного задания, потому что задание выполнено практически максимально. Такого не бывает.
Okay, and yes, the task we are doing now is a little bit simplified, so we can see that the test project is done a little bit incorrect. You know, like usually the test project should be done so that no one could get the highest score. So it is almost impossible to get the highest score. Of course, yes, Chakumar will share the assessment sheet, will send it to you so that you could assess the participants yourself. Александр Анатольевич. Где Александр Анатольевич? Александр Анатольевич, отзовитесь, пожалуйста.
Я здесь, я с вами.
Спасибо.
Да, я с вами.
Александр Анатольевич, вот вчера я предлагала, если хотите, если кто-то хочет, может показать модель своего участника, И вот пока у нас осталось время, сколько нужно, ну, как бы сколько успеем, мы можем показать и оценить, например, посмотреть, если кто-то хочет мне спросить.
Да, можно будет спросить, или можно представить второй вариант, что если хотят оценить самостоятельно и отправить мне
Мгм,
потом данные вот эти,
мгм,
табличку, но ее
мгм,
надо будет сделать, сохранить как PDF,
мгм,
и отправить ее на электронную почту. Электронную почту я сейчас напишу в чат наш Telegram,
мгм,
для того, чтобы выставить оценки.
мгм, мгм. Хорошо.
Yes.
Okay, so dear experts, so we have time. Yes, we have just 45 minutes left. And we have a question or a suggestion as you like. So if you want, if you have the participants 3D models of your own, of your team, we can jointly assess it right now all together according to these aspects, because we have time and we can maybe at least start assessing or try to assess at least a part of the model if you want. So you have just several minutes, yes, to think about it, maybe 5 or something, and we'll send you this marking paper. Yes, so you will have this criterias, aspects. You will just put your own marks here. But Alexander asked you to put the marks here, yes, for your participant, to write the names of the participants, to write the country name, yes, and when you have assessed your participant, you have to sign this paper and send him a PDF file, not Excel file, okay, but a PDF file, or to take a picture of this file of the assessment aspects and send it to his email. He will write his email in our chat in Telegram. And so you're always welcome to send your assessing criterias. You can ask any questions here. Now, as you have seen the assessment procedure, maybe not right now, maybe tomorrow, when you will have when you just have assessed your own participant, maybe tomorrow you will have some questions about assessing this module. So you can ask your questions, for example, tomorrow, or show the work of your participant tomorrow, I mean this module. So any questions are welcomed, and any comments are also welcomed.
Можно еще спросить у экспертов,
Мгм.
сколько вы считаете, скажем так, трудность исполнения этого задания в данный момент?
Mhm. So dear experts, how do you think, is this module, is this test project module difficult right now? How do you think? Is it difficult or is it easy to perform? So you may answer it, or you may write it in our chat. So how do you think? Is it easy or is it difficult? Hmm? No.
Nice.
Mhm. Hmm. Ah, okay, so we got it. Mhm. So, but maybe if your participant will train for some time, he will be able to complete this module, I guess, in 4 or 5 hours. So, but yes, actually, it is not too difficult, but it demands, of course, the skills and time. Okay, yeah, so it demands skills and time. And of course, we understand that it is also difficult for your participants because they don't have, original details. They cannot see, touch, or measure them. They have only 3D models. We do understand it. Yes, they have much work. Yes, time is our main enemy. Yes, so yes, it is, but yes. And if you wait, we'll tell you afterwards during the last day. Just a second, Александр Анатольевич. Хотите, мы потом им в последний день соревнований скажем, за сколько у нас ребята модули делают?
Ну да, 8 часов. Да-да-да. Я думаю, это стоит сейчас сказать о том, что дети выполняют в течение 8 часов, потому что это действительно трудно и требует навыка.
So yes, it's difficult. It demands some skills, and our team and working together. For example, if a team of 2 members, one of the members is doing, for example, 3D model, and another member, for example, will fill in the documentation. So they share their, duties, and that's why they can help a little bit. But of course, we do understand that your participants see just this project for the first time.
Yeah, there are many of them are like they are the first timers and
yes.
something.
So yes, maybe for the first time, the participant could spend, I don't know, maybe 5 hours to draw only one detail.
Also the resources, and also the platform must be the familiar, and also the resources, and resources means they should have the proper softwares. I mean, yeah, and mostly the important is the team. Like 2 members in a team, so at least one guy to handle the full design of, and also the simulation and whatever the activities that they need to do, and someone be a programmer. It's like a teamwork. I mean, like brings the like a good shape for the project. But anyway,
yes.
Because we are giving the opportunity for them, like whoever wanted to try, so let them try and do it. So I hope they maybe the next year, I mean, like every participant will be, will familiar with activities.
Yeah, so sooner or later they will cope in maybe 3, 4, or 5 hours. I don't know. So, and by the way,
немного не понял.
Но он говорит, что тяжело выполнять. Круто, что они между собой все разделят. Ну, как бы очень здорово, если между собой все разделят, когда будут. Ну, типа, нужно время, говорит, может, в следующем году быстрее это делать, через год.
Да, ну, здесь надо сказать о том, что это задание для финала национального чемпионата. На начальном этапе можно сделать все немножко проще. Да, поэтому, может быть, мы, скажем так, в ноябре сделаем задание несколько проще на этап РИКС. Да, и да, это будет оправданно.
So Alexander comments that this task is for Russian national championship. Yes, so for the best teams in Russia, and maybe if you will kindly take part in BRICS competitions in November, we will together think about the test project and the possible variants of how the participants could perform the task.
И для меня очень важно сейчас, и для меня очень важно сейчас получить обратную связь от экспертов, чтобы мы по истечении нашего кэмпа смогли сформировать конкурсное задание, которое смогут выполнить участники. Так.
And for Alexander, it is very important to get feedback from you, because we would like to hear any suggestions so that participants could cope with the test project. So maybe we will send you today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, just one question every day. And we are waiting for your suggestions to improve our skill competition. Yes, and make everything correct.
Мы должны вместе думать о том, как развивать компетенцию во всех абсолютно странах. Вот, и мы должны действовать одной большой командой.
We should think together about how to develop the space system engineering in the whole world, in every country, so that we could participate and take part in competitions together and develop this. Oh, great! That's great.
Great.
Да, можно вы сказали мне, пожалуйста, когда это будет BRICS это для Space System или другой?
Just a second, Александр Анатольевич, скажите про BRICS в ноябре, да?
Да, ну здесь можно тебе сказать о том, что будет проходить БРИКС, может быть, в очном формате, если не будет у нас запретов из-за пандемии. Но вообще мы планируем проводить все это на территории колледжа Годовикова в Москве. Вот. Но если вдруг будет запрет, проведем опять его в дистанционном формате.
Да, хорошо, спасибо.
Oh, okay. Just will translate for the other experts. Just a second, Александр Анатольевич, насколько это точная информация?
Это абсолютно точная информация. Она поступила от Международного департамента Союза Воронежской области.
Okay, so we think and we hope that we believe that there will be BRICS competition in November, and it will depend on the pandemic situation, but we really want and hope that this championship, I mean BRICS, can be held in Moscow in our college, and you will just come and see everything with your own eyes. We'll try everything, and we will work together. If the pandemic situation will not be okay, then we will think about how to conduct, how to hold a distant competition, because now we're just like training or checking how it should be held in general. But of course it is a little bit difficult. Of course it will be easier if everyone is on the ones at one site, at, for example, one college in one city. But if we will have to hold a distant competition, we will do it.
Yes, I think so. In November situation is normal in Russia.
Yeah, so we just couldn't hear half of your phrase. Sorry.
Yes, I think the condition will be normal in Russia
Mhm.
at November
Yeah, so do
because
we.
they are supposed to start university from September.
Okay.
Окей, окей.
Woohoo. That's great. Александр Анатольевич.
Еще хотелось бы сказать, что у нас есть огромное желание, скажем так, выслушать всех экспертов и найти общее понимание, в какую сторону нам развивать компетенцию.
Хорошо. So we would like to hear from you not only the suggestions for the test project, but also your ideas and your vision for the future of space systems engineering. Because as Alexander has already said, during the first day, space systems engineering is not only about satellites, but it is about all and each systems connected with space. So just you have some time, you have an opportunity to think, or maybe you have the ideas and your own vision right now. So don't be shy to share your ideas and vision. So you can always write it in our chat in Telegram, or send a personal message to me or to Alexander. So we are open to all suggestions and ideas.
Да, и однозначно хочется развивать те навыки, которые уже присутствуют у нас в компетенции. Это 3D-моделирование, программирование, радиотехника и схемотехника, сборка, испытания космических аппаратов.
Уже устали, да, от одного и того же?
Да.
So we also welcome your ideas about developing the skills of 3D modeling, the skills of radio engineer, the skills of programming, of assembling the devices, the skill of like running the codes or checking the codes in a real satellite. So well, we're a little bit like tired because it is almost the same thing we do every like year. So we want the development. Our credo is development.
Ну и хочется сказать, что за космосом будущее, поэтому давайте сделаем вместе это и будем развивать нашу инженерию все вместе сообща.
So and the space is our future. It is really our future, and we want to do it together. We want to cooperate, and we just suggest to do it together.
Yeah, it's like sounds like a great plan. So maybe I'm also thinking, we have, I did not mention about, because I work on Soyuz spacecraft simulators, like cosmonautic training. Okay, so we have an Azukovsky. So maybe I'm thinking maybe we can organize one. You have to fly yourself and dock to the International Space Station. Okay, it's like a manual flying of your spacecraft to go to the International Space Station and dock. So maybe we can fix some kind of timeline, like 20 minutes, 60 minutes to dock your space station, something, or maybe to finding something, something like flying to International Space Station, something. So I will share with the photographs. Maybe you guys can see in my Facebook. Maybe I will send you a private message. We can plan something. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be great. Thank you so much. Александр Анатольевич, ну тогда ждите сообщения.
Мгм.
Так, ну, я думаю, что если ни у кого нету
Мгм.
никаких там вопросов, да, предложений пока, потому что лучше, конечно, наверное, это все, ну, как бы можно сказать, я запишу, но лучше, конечно, если ребята сами напишут, да, нам. Я им еще раз это в Телеграме
Да,
напишу.
мне кажется, сейчас нет смысла всем вместе оценивать чью-либо работу. Лучше это
Ну, как...
сделают сами эксперты, да, и отправят эти файлы нам.
ну, у
И надо
нас,
сказать о том, что у нас есть время еще, чтобы участники задавали вопросы по второму модулю. Они могут в течение сегодняшнего дня отправлять сообщения в Telegram,
Мгм.
да, ну, или в группу, или личными сообщениями мне и тебе и так далее, как им будет удобно. И мы с удовольствием ответим на все вопросы.
Мгм. Ну, так понимаю, что я вас спрошу, просто никто не предложил, чтобы проверили 3D-модель у участника.
Да, конечно.
Наверное, стесняются. So, dear experts, we are going to finish our conference soon, but we would like to remind you that your participants and you personally can ask any questions in Telegram about, for example, assessment for Module 1 and about the task for the next module, for Module 2. If you have any questions related to a 6 modeler, so today your participants may ask them. Mm-hmm. Oops, sorry. I just switched on the radio. Okay, thank you so much for the video, for YouTube link. So, I guess that's all. Александр Анатольевич, закругляемся.
Sorry. Если нет вопросов, конечно, можно завершить конференцию, но все-таки мы бы еще готовы, мы были бы рады, если бы участники задавали нам вопросы.
Да, я уже просто сказала несколько раз. Смотрите, тут вопрос от участника есть. Давайте я прочитаю, пока никто не вышел. Вот Грэм Баркли говорит, что он не знает, как ее тестировать. Сейчас how to test it. Mr. Buckley, so what is your question about? Not quite getting. What do you mean?
Good evening.
Good evening. So what is your okay, I got it. So just if it is not very difficult, just write, in other words, what don't you understand? Because what cannot you test? Test what?
Такой же точно симулятор стоит в Центре подготовки космонавтов. Как вот отправили. Да, но там по Боингу я на него летал. Вот, но симулятора Союза еще пока я там не видел. Здесь надо вопрос, наверное, задать Якумару. Где именно стоит этот симулятор?
Давайте я... Я боюсь ошибиться.
Мгм.
Dear Jayakumar, so do you know where is this simulator?
Zukovsky.
Жуковский.
Okay, we got it. Thank you.
So yeah,
Центр
we are
подготовки.
serving. Yeah. I mean, like engineering center. This is our office, but our simulators is used by the cosmonauts. Like because
Окей.
we developed the Soyuz MS-16 upgrade to the Soyuz because the previous one is like old Soyuz one, so we upgraded that Soyuz MS-16 in 2016. It's like the upgraded Soyuz version. Now I'm also been like with Oril spacecraft with Mark Zero.
Да, я был там рядом, можешь сказать, что в ЦПК, ну, летал на симуляторе Boeing. Он тоже находится в этом же помещении, где стоит макет Союза. Но, к сожалению, не видел. Да, переведи, пожалуйста, если можно.
Alexander has been to the center of cosmonaut preparation, and he was testing the Boeing simulator, but unfortunately he hasn't seen this simulator.
This one is like a real cosmonaut one. It's like it's not a Boeing one. This is our pure Russian one. Okay.
Okay.
So Boeing simulator is something is a different one. This Boeing simulator never used in Soyuz spacecraft because that is a commercial project for Boeing Starliner. I mean, like I'm discussing with Boeing also. I mean, like the SpaceX and something like because they are planning for next mission. But you may not be seeing this because this one is like I will send you the pictures and our systems. Maybe someday we can visit our office in Zukovsky and you can you can feel and you can experience flying to ISS. And also we have the AR VR also. I mean, like you are walking spacewalk, you can do using the glass. Yeah.
Можешь мне подсказать, если не сложно?
Yeah, this because it's like last 3 contracts with the Roscosmos actually started because we work with the Roscosmos.
Он говорит, что вы, да, все равно вы с Роскосмосом работаете и, может быть, сможем испытать этот симулятор, но он для настоящих, для космонавтов, которые, да, летают и и столько самим туда полететь, но никто не полетит.
Я очень хочу организовать для всех участников экскурсию в ЦПК, и не буду обещать, но думаю, у меня это получится. Да, поэтому пусть приезжают.
Александр Анатольевич.
Да, я в состоянии это сделать.
Мне кажется, лучше пока точно не знаем, а то они размечтаются.
Я уже организовал экскурсию в ЦПК, поэтому очень хочется, чтобы...
Okay, yes, so Alexander says that there is a very small possibility of visiting the center of cosmonaut preparation if you come to Moscow for BRICS.
No, for me it's not a problem. Like
okay,
for me,
okay. That's great.
I'm also a test cosmonaut in this mission of Sirius 2021 Sirius cosmonaut. I'm a test cosmonaut mission. It's like 8 months isolation mission in IBM Moscow. Like Institute of Biomedical Problem, Russian Academy of Science. So I was a shortlisted test cosmonaut, so not a problem. So because I may be joining next May 2021.
Okay,
because
so maybe
this coronavirus. Yeah, this coronavirus makes postpone our mission. So we have test place, no problem.
We're sorry to hear that.
Moscow is great.
вопрос был, да? Так, сейчас, секунду. Так, на все вопросы. Ага.
Ой. Ой.
Есть.
Да, я смотрю. Я их до них даже отвечаю. А, еще два. О. Слушайте, у меня просто в телефоне немножко попозже приходит вообще, поэтому...
Понятно.
Ну, у меня в смысле, я же с компьютера, с телефона сижу, поэтому...
Мгм.
Okay. So, Italo, just a second. Александр Анатольевич, а вот у
Да,
них
я ответил. Я ответил,
по
50%.
центру масс, да? Окей.
Мгм.
Ну, думаю, что надо всем это сказать.
Ну да, можно сказать, что те, которые совпали, 8, можно до половинный критерий сделать. И...
Это в 3D-модели, да?
Да, да, да.
Okay, so dear experts, if we had a question about access in a 3D model. So if you just a second. If you matched with one of the axes and you just didn't match with another one, so you may put a half of a mark.
Yeah, but how much do they apart from, I mean, like you matched with Y means, so I mean, like in x-axis, it must be within the limit, you know, kind of at least now 1 mm or maybe some 2 mm. I think this would be fine because, you know, but it should not more than that on y-axis. Okay, maybe how much, I mean, you have to, can you share the, how much deviation, so then we can consider half or full mark. Okay.
Александр Анатольевич, какое отклонение должно быть у осей и как высчитывать? Полную или сколько от нее оценку ставить?
Я предлагаю сейчас посмотреть критерии и по критериям ответить. Так, у нас по оси X, Y, да? 0,8.
Okay, so let's look. Давайте я покажу, тут все равно видно. So we'll just demonstrate how do we usually do it. Yes, so I'm sorry. There's 3 aspects, yes?
Иногда бывает, что по оси X совпадает, а по Y нет. Можно применить...
Подождите, пожалуйста, можете предложение паузу делать? Ладно,
да.
я так не скажу много. Цик-цик. So sometimes, you know, like one of the axes matches, yes, and another axis fails to match. And then?
Если по оси X все хорошо, а по Y не попали в этот предел, то мы можем применить половинный критерий, то есть 0,4 поставить.
Все, поняла, спасибо. So if x-axis is okay and y-axis is not okay, yes, so it happens sometimes, then you just can divide this mark into 2. Okay, so every mark should be divided into two if you have problems with y-axis. So you put like 0.4, 0.25 and 0.25, okay?
И надо еще сказать, что обычно это решение принимается экспертным сообществом при общей оценке работ. Ну, так как у нас эксперты оценивают свою команду, то мы можем им доверить это решение.
So usually the decision, yes, about division of these marks are shared by the group of experts. So usually the group of experts decide whether the mark should be divided into 2 or 4 parts, but now we cannot assess the module altogether, unfortunately. That's why it's up to you to decide whether...
No, but the thing is, it's like, yeah, sorry, this is like, you know, like how much deviation, then only you can consider half mark or full mark, you know, like, you know, whatever, quarter mark, you know, you must, why is okay, I mean, like some, you mean you have to different, I mean, tell that exactly like how much it is deviated, okay, then only we will consider, okay.
You mean the mark?
No, I mean like the deviation, you know, like he can able to match the y or x or something like missing. So, but we have to know like how from, I mean like 2 mm is how much difference is like we want 2 mm, then but how much distance you made it, like 5 mm or 6 mm or something, you know, that, yeah. So then based on that, yeah.
Sorry. Александр Анатольевич, а вот по оси Y какое может быть отклонение? Ну, сколько там миллиметров? Ну, типа вы говорите, не попал. По оси X попал, по оси Z, ну, типа... все, я поняла. Вы имеете в виду, что если по осям X, то, типа, вот прямо они попадают в миллиметр, в 2 или в 5, а по Y, он говорит, ну, вот вы же сказали, типа, он не попал в миллиметр, в 2 и в 5. А какое вообще максимальное отклонение? А то, может, у него Y будет, там, не знаю, 25. Вот я ничего
Более
не
10 миллиметров нет смысла модель ставить на аэродинамический подвес, потому что она, центр массы будет смещен. Тогда испытания проводятся на подвесе на нитке.
Okay, so Alexander told that y-axis deviation shouldn't be more than 10 millimeters. So if it is more than 10 millimeters, then it will fall out of the aerodynamic suspension. So not more than here, y-axis shouldn't be more than 10 millimeters.
И тогда можно будет проводить, да, и тогда можно будет проводить испытания только на подвесенной нитке.
Это про это не было вопроса, я думаю, что...
Кстати, можно сказать про нитку, потому что многие участники как раз проводят испытания на подвесе на ниточке, а не на аэродинамическом подвесе. Да? Я думаю, в этом тоже стоит сказать, что такой способ существует.
Просто так?
Да, да, просто так.
Some of the participants test the satellite in the aerodynamic suspension, and some of the participants test the satellite on the string.
So you want some participants want to share the screen or something?
What's up? What?
No, you want some participant to share screen about that model they developed or something?
Of course, we don't have much time, yes, but if you just have to show us something, you can show us. your participants' work. Александр Анатольевич, что тут
М.
говорят, что могут вроде как или хотят показать, или спрашивают по поводу того, чтобы показать работу.
Отлично. Great.
Мгм. So yes, if you want, if you can show the work of your participant or any other.
Надо подключить демонстрацию экрана.
Да, сейчас. Ты же отключила?
Там, где безопасность, надо дать доступ к демонстрации экрана участникам.
Не знаю. По-моему, вот внизу второй справа с картинкой. Сейчас. Сейчас.
Мгм.
Что, смотрите, что там пишут.
I think some issues with them, so maybe we will try after some time. Okay, so
we can wait for maybe some minutes. If nothing works, we can check it tomorrow, or we can look tomorrow. So no problem. О, отлично. Окей. Ну, у них немного по-другому.
yeah, some of our participants that made it. I mean, like Atu and our guys made it, but unfortunately, here you can see something like you can able to see my screen. But something like they are trying to connect in the laptop, some of our participants using the phone. So Atwa, you can able to manage today or can show it tomorrow?
Of course, yes.
Of course, no.
Yeah, some because they completed the work, but we will send in a report. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank
you. So, dear experts, so if you don't mind, we will finish our conference. You will have time to think about maybe some questions or to think about your ideas, to send it to us. Anyway, I just, prefer to have written questions and ideas and so on, because it is easier, to save, it is easier to understand, to answer and so on. So if you don't mind, you can write anytime, anything, any of us. And I think we should say goodbye to each other and see you all tomorrow. Александр Анатольевич, ну как думаете, уже прощаться же можно, да? Все, пусть они.
Of course, thank you very much for the conference. I hope to continue working in future.
Спасибо большое.
Пожалуйста.
Пожалуйста. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Да, до свидания.
О,
До
до
завтра.
свидания.
До
До
свидания.
завтра.
завтра.
До свидания. Он сказал до свидания.
Увидимся.
Увидимся, конечно.
See you. Thank you very much.
Дима, отключай всех, пожалуйста. а то